Happy New Year, everyone! I'm recording this New Year's Eve, and I probably will get this posted tomorrow, which by the time you watch this will be New Year's Day. So, it's been so long since I last did a video, you know, I guess just, crochet video chat and stuff like that, showing my makes and things like that. So, it's been what, since October or maybe before that, because we went on vacation end of October into November, and a very much needed vacation. We went to a conference, and then we spent time. So the conference was in Florida, and we spent time, and then we drove up to Nashville or Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We got a hotel in Gatlinburg, visited family in Nashville, so we drove 3 hours there and back to Gatlinburg to visit them twice, because his siblings, their work schedules didn't align for us to all meet together, and so, we met two of them on one day and then met the other one on another day, and then the rest of the time was just us as a family vacationing in the Smoky Mountains. It's one of our favorite places. My husband and I first went there, I think it was like our second anniversary, our second or third, I can't remember which one. And ever since then, we enjoyed going back there, because too, it's like, because at the time, before his mom passed away, his mom lived in Nashville. And so sometimes we would actually go there, our wedding anniversary being in December. We would drive up to celebrate our anniversary, and then since she lived so close, we would visit and stop by, and then once we had kids, we would drop off our daughter with her, and then drive back to Gatlinburg to spend some time, just the two of us alone, and then go back and pick her up. And so anyway, so we've been there probably, I think this time was probably our fourth or fifth time being in Gatlinburg. I think more so our fourth. And yeah, and then we also met up with our friends. They also have a YouTube channel called Joy Blessed Life, and then her husband is Storyteller Donnie, and so I'll link them there. And yeah, so we met up with them a few times. I think two times. I think we met up with them and got to see them. We've known them I've known Joy since 1999. When we were in Florida, when we used to live in Florida, and so yeah. So that's been why I've been gone for so long. When we came back, I really kind of at the conference, I really the Lord spoke to me, and I really needed to make some changes, and I've been spending way too much time on YouTube, and so I needed to kind of cut down my time spent on there and prioritize the things I needed to get done. I had been neglecting some things to get done, so yeah, and so that's why I haven't been on as much, being on the live chat, other people's live chats and things like that, and that's why if you've seen me before and you haven't seen me around lately, that's the reason why. But so yeah, and I will probably put on some pictures and just kind of show you a little bit of the views that we got when we were in the Smoky Mountains. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. We were kind of there at the tail end of the changing of the fall leaves, right? Changing of the leaves, and so we did get to see some. So we're thankful for that. Just absolutely gorgeous, the views, and it just kind of makes me want to live in the valley of the Smoky Mountains. I mean, it is just so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, the views of the mountains, man, it's just amazing. But yeah, and so we got to do some fun things family wise. It's really our first vacation in a very long time. We have been to the States previously, in the it's been about every 3 to 2 years, and but we would only go there for the conference and then come back, so we wouldn't have time to really do activities and vacation activities and things like that. So we really got to do that this time when we were in Pigeon Forge. That's where we actually stayed. We stayed in Pigeon Forge, and we actually drove by Gatlinburg. We never actually did stop in Gatlinburg this time. I realized that after the fact, that because we normally do go at least once, go down, to the strip and walk and, get some beef jerky and things like that. And we didn't end up doing that this time. We spent a lot of time in Pigeon Forge. We did like go-kart racing. We did, I can't remember now what some of the other, not really quote unquote activities, but did do a lot of shopping there in Pigeon Forge. Stopped, of course, went to Hobby Lobby, and I didn't really go for yarn. I did because someone had actually wanted me to make her a racetrack rug, and so I went and bought all of the yarn, but then of course later on she changed her mind. So anyway, yeah, so that's really the only yarn I got from the store, because I picked up the rest of my yarn, if you've seen my previous video, the 50-pound yarn haul. And so that was my majority of it was from what I got from Pam of Be Creative Crafts when she did shopping for me at Hobby Lobby, the clearance sale in June. So that's really where the bulk of my yarn haul was from. And yeah, so most of the time really was going through the Smoky Mountains. We did a drive-by. I can't remember the name. Once I look up the name of the area that we drove through, not Cades Cove, we actually went there later on ourselves, but I can't remember the place that it was called, where we actually drove through, and you drove through a little bit of like a driving trail, and you got gorgeous views and places you could stop at. And there was one place that had a little bit of a waterfall, or not really, was it a waterfall? It was just more like a stream or something like that. But anyway, we did that drive with Donna and Joy, and then later on we did go to Cades Cove. My oldest was actually not feeling well that day, so she actually stayed home, and so then it was just me, my husband, and our youngest. We went to Cades Cove and drove, and that was when we did see a bear, and we saw a deer, a stag, and so that was really cool. I may put in a clip of that. If I do, and I'll just put all the clips at the end if you'd like to go, check it out. But yeah, so I think mainly a lot of the time we spent was there, Smoky Mountains and Pigeon Forge, doing a lot of the shopping. And we wanted to go to Laurel Falls in Smoky Mountains, but when we went to the visitor center, they actually said that because there was a long drought, that there really was no falls to see because there was hardly any water. So, but yeah, so if you ever do get a chance to go visit Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, the Smoky Mountains, definitely do Cades Cove, Laurel Falls. We were gonna do Kleeman's Dome because we've never done that, but we didn't end up getting a chance to, because both, like, between our two daughters, like one of them was not feeling well one day, and then the other one. So, but yeah, so it was just a great time, a great vacation. It was so nice, and of course our kids didn't want to come back, but yeah. And so also while we were there, our oldest turned 18, and I was just like, wow. So she left unofficially, a kid, right, in society's eyes, and then we came back home, and she came back home as quote unquote an adult, but it's just the thought of having an 18-year-old is like, wow. I mean, I cannot believe that much time had gone by, and that her oldest is now 18, and it's just like, wow. And then our second is she'll be 12 in April. Yeah. And I would say I do have a third, but I really believe she is in heaven, because I miscarried right before the year before, or the year, I can't remember now. It was 2014 or 2013. I think, that I miscarried. So yeah, I would have an 8-year-old if, no, or was it, yeah, almost 8, because would have been born, that our third baby would have been born in 2014. So that's like 6, yeah, 8. Anyway, yeah. So that is why I have been MIA for such a long time, if you didn't already know. And I'm back. So happy to finally get a chance to get on and record. And just a few of my makes, not much, you know, really not much at all has been accomplished. But let me start with the bag I had started, or you know, that I had showed you in my last video of what I was going to do, and this is show you what I have completed so far. So this is going to be a bag, and so you see these are the motifs, the hexagon motif, which to me looks like a sand dollar, and these are the colors I chose for it, these 3 colors. I don't know if you can see the difference between this one and this one. These 2 are different colors. If you can kind of tell, the lighting is not really, I'm here out in the natural light and it's not really totally showing it. But, so yeah, I mean, so these 2 are very close, but this is like a more like a sky blue, and this is more like a, I don't know what you call it, a turquoise maybe. But yeah, so these are the 3 colors, and then I'm doing join as you go, and so this is what I have so far. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I also have one more that I did not join to this, and that one did have a bit of a mistake, so I kind of wanted to figure out how I was going to arrange this and then put it, that one particular finished hexagon, like on the bottom of the bag or on the side, where the mistake that I made on it won't be as noticeable. So yeah, so I did not count how many more of these hexagons I'm gonna need. Just kind of going, you know, because I'm doing the join as you go, and I'm just gonna kind of wing it and see, because obviously there is no pattern per se for this bag. I'm just using the motifs from the book that I showed you guys in my last video, the book review that I did, and it's from that book. And so I'm just using these motifs and then putting them together to make a bag, and then I'm going to line it, and so we'll see how long that takes. But so yeah, so that's that. I have not worked on it since or did I came back? I can't remember now. I did, and then I think I stopped to knit this, I guess, dishcloth. It's kind of it's a small one, and it has a little hook I made, or you know, according to the pattern. So you see how small this is, quite small. And I think this is called the Irish moss stitch. I can't remember. It's either the moss stitch or the Irish moss stitch. So if you can see the pattern, and I think too, because of the colorway that I chose, you kind of can't really, it kind of you don't really see the pattern. It doesn't show off the pattern as well. But yeah, so this one I actually this one, and I just noticed a bit of a mistake here on the binding off, but that's a minor thing. But if you guys remember my very first knit dishcloth, I had to frog that thing entirely like 8-9 times, because it was my very first knit piece, and I kept making mistakes, and I didn't know how to fix the mistakes without having to completely frog them. And this time I frogged this 0 times, so I am so very excited, very happy. I did so much better with this one, and I did make some mistakes, and I was able to figure out how to fix it, so yay. And so yep, I made this for a friend. I made this and this scrubby, a flower dish scrubby. This is Bag O' Day's pattern. If you do search Scrubology scrubby, this is her pattern, and you'll find that video, and I'll also link it. But yeah, so it's a really, small one. I actually made one for myself last year, and it works really well in getting in small corners and small areas, and as you use it, it really kind of bends, and it's very flexible, and when it gets wet, and then plus the fact that you have these petals, because of these petals of the flower, is like, you can really get in the tight corners and spaces and stuff where you need to scrub them. So even though it's small, but it comes in very handy. And yeah, so I made this as well for not really a matching thing, but I kind of just working with what I had. The friend that I'm giving it to, found out that her favorite color is green, but I didn't have any green anyway. So, and I don't have any green of this color, this stuff either. So kind of just, making do with what I have, and also hopefully she'll like it and make good use of it. And so that's pretty much it. Really not much. And I'm just amazed at all you guys who always constantly have stuff finished FOs, like on a weekly basis and things like that. But yeah, so that's what I have for that. So obviously my whip, and these are my FOs. And now that I'm done with these, I think I also want to, kind of switch back and forth between this, and I wanted to start a knit shawl. So I've been looking at patterns for knit, something that has a bit of like either texture or just kind of different styling, and not necessarily in different colors, but just using one color but with like different kind of stitches to have like either a textured look or just something different, because I don't want strictly knit and purl stitches, or like I don't want, or even a mix of that. I just want something, some different stitches, something to kind of for me to learn. And I think I finally found one. I can't remember the name of it, but it's by Shandy of Expression Fiber Arts. And so I think I'm gonna try that one and see how that goes. And then yeah, that's kind of what's on the horizon for me. Besides the bag, that bag is gonna take well, I'm not gonna say it's gonna take a while. If I just really, kind of sit down and really, focus on that, then I can get it done pretty quickly. But yeah, so hope you guys are having a great new year. And kind of curious, what are your goals crochet wise? For me, well, I guess not crochet for me, crochet or knit, either one, whether or not you do whatever it is that you do. But I have really been thinking I want to try one of those C2C. I've done a C2C before. I did a C2C shawl last year, but I want to do a maybe a rug. I'm thinking. I don't know how many, if any of you guys are familiar with Mrs. I don't know what's her name or how do you pronounce it, but it's Mrs. Padrix. She's only on Instagram. I will link her Instagram, and she does amazing C2C projects, and yeah, and she has an amazing method too. So definitely go check her out. And so I've never really done a seriously big project like a blanket yet. I don't know if I'm going to do one. I kind of would like to. It's just a matter of actually purchasing enough yarn for something like that. So really, I would have to really plan ahead and figure out the coloring and all that kind of stuff, and possibly maybe like wait for a sale or something like that. I don't know. I kind of really have to work with what I have in my stash right now, because after coming home with 50 pounds of yarn, I don't think my husband will be too happy. He would be, I can just imagine his response if I was to tell him like, okay, I want to buy more yarn. He'd be like, are you kidding me? Seriously? More? You still need more? Like 50 pounds isn't enough? You know, that kind of thing. And like I said before, you know, we live in a really small apartment. We, you know, right now my storage for the yarn is in my suitcases really. So I really do need to knock out some yarn first before I go into something like that. So yeah, but and okay, so now I just I thought of one thing I have been wanting to make for a while. I wanted to make Totoro. I want to make Grogu. And Totoro, if you don't know, that is a character from the Japanese anime. Oh, now what's the name? My Neighbor Totoro. So yeah, I've really been wanting to make that. I wanted to make a minion, but I definitely can't make a minion. I don't have the colors I need for it. I actually did look for the blue that I wanted, but I could not find it in when I went to, I think, Hobby Lobby and Joann's. For some reason, you know, I think I was gonna go for either, I was looking for it either in acrylic or oh, what's it called, chenille, but I could not find them. Like, it's just like one color was missing, because, you know, I would need like a white, black, yellow, and, you know, a particular shade of blue to go to, you know, match the minion. And if I was gonna go do acrylic, I have the yellow, I have the white, I have black, so then I just the blue, but for some reason I could not find the shade of blue that I wanted, that I needed for that. So I didn't. And then if I was looking at chenille yarns, then they didn't have like the yellow, or some color was missing. So I was like, ugh. But yeah, so that's one of the things I really do want to make. So like I said, the Totoro, the Minion, Grogu, you know, or Baby Yoda, as many people like to call him. And I have the yarn for that. I think I bought it last year, so I really need to get it going on that one. Make the Grogu. And but yeah, I think that's off the top of my head. Those are the items that I want to make this year for sure. And but yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. I think I had some other things planned, but now I can't remember what else that was that I wanted to share. You know, things that happened. But I don't want to drag it on too long. And if I do, I guess I will just have to add on to next time. But yeah, okay. And one last thing I just want to interject here. I keep meaning to, and I keep forgetting. I just wanted to kind of brag on my oldest a little bit here, and just show you some of her amazing talent that she has been given by God in the area of drawing. And so yeah, so I'm just gonna insert some clips and show you some of her amazing work. And I've been trying to encourage her to start, you know, a business to kind of sell her talent, you know, to commission her work. And like, so I'll show you an example of one of our friends. She wanted her to do, like, kind of cartoonify her a little bit. And you know, she's still trying to figure out her style in that regard. But for sure though, when she does like freehand drawing, what's obvious to me is she has a love for anime, and that style, you know. And I'm just amazed. You know, I knew from early on, from like, I think, I don't know how old she was exactly, maybe 4 or 5. It's just something has never left my mind. It's always stuck in my mind, because when she was really young, she was just drawing, and she drew like a plate of watermelon, I think it was. All I know is just it was watermelon, and like, I can't describe it, but when I saw it, I just knew, she had a talent for the arts, you know, in this area of the arts. And like, I knew something, you know, there's just something very different. I could just tell in her work, even at that age. There's just the detail, and just amazing. But so yeah, and to see her come this far, and to see the talent, the amazing work that she does. And And then that same friend, she actually also paid her to do some sketching for a business that she's getting started doing. Like she's looking into selling modest swimwear, and so she needed some sketches made up of of what she had in her mind, the designs and the colorings and the colors that she wanted. And so she paid her to do that as well for her. And yeah, and then even my youngest, she also has it is different, and not quite to the caliber of my oldest, but she definitely has talent in there in that as well, and she's learning her own style, and it's just amazing to see her grow in that as well, because I don't think she necessarily has that like natural talent, for lack of a better word, that like my oldest, like because like I said before, I could tell from early on, 4 or 5, that she has true like this skill and this this really just this talent of drawing, whereas the youngest did not necessarily show that. But from her watching videos and seeing her older sister, she's really developed a lot, and it's just amazing to see that with her as well. And so she has her own style. So I'm going to show you, for the cartoonification of our friend, that my friend wanted. So both my oldest and my youngest did a cartoonification for her, and they have their own style. So I will show it right here. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of show her, show her out and show her off, her amazing talent. So, and if you happen, to want her to do something like that, let me know. Let me know. Alrighty. So yeah, we had a great vacation. We came back. We had Thanksgiving. Um, we did Thanksgiving at our church, as we always do every year, and really good, and really good time to reflect on the year and give thanks to God for everything that's happened in the year. Just really just kind of like one of those counter blessings kind of a thing, to give thanks for and focus on the good things that did happen. And then this year, of course, and tonight we are having our New Year's Eve service, and every year we always tell everyone to bring their prayer list for the year. And it's an awesome thing, because it's kind of like, okay, well, you got to ask yourself, well, what do you want to see God do for you this year? Whether that be spiritually, material things, and whatever else that you are believing God for, trusting the Lord for this year to see, come to pass. That's what we have everyone do. And then we pray over the prayer list, and then everyone, you know, can go and throughout the year, check off the list as those things that they have on their list come to pass. And it's just awesome testimonies from people who have done that, and you know, in faith, believing God for what they've asked Him for, and it's just awesome. So yeah, so that's how we always ring in the new year, right in church. So, well, with the family of God. So yeah, and I hope you guys all, this will be, of course, in the future, tomorrow. I hope you guys all had a great New Year's Eve, coming and bringing in the new year. And yeah, so here's to 2023. And have a great day. God bless you guys. And I'll see you next time. Alrighty, bye.